Good evening. It's been described as the biggest fraud case ever prosecuted in Wales. But the Serious Fraud Office is facing a multi-million-pound bill tonight after being told to pay the defendants costs in the collapsed trial involving the sale of 4 open-cast mines. 6 people, including the lawyer and former Cardiff City Chief Executive Alan Whiteley, and 2 former directors of Celtic Energy, were charged with conspiracy to defraud public bodies. Here's our business correspondent, Brian Meakin.
Margam opencast mining site near Port Talbot, one of 4 sites in South Wales that lie at the heart of this bitter legal battle. Another is East Pit in the Upper Ammon Valley. The estimated cost of restoring this pit alone after mining into a usable public area is £115 million. 6 people were accused of engaging in a criminal conspiracy to defraud Neath Port Talbot, Bridgend and Powys councils and the Coal Authority by trying to avoid these costs. It was alleged that in selling the land to an offshore company they themselves owned and controlled in the Caribbean, they financially benefited and prevented the councils from forcing them to restore the sites. This case began 4 years ago when Alan Whiteley, Eric Evans and the others were arrested. And many twists and turns later, we've ended up here, where the judge has decided that the Serious Fraud Office will have to pay the costs of the defendants, which their representatives say are around £6 million. Alan Whiteley was already a well-known name in Welsh business and legal circles when he was arrested. He says the case has damaged his reputation and he's critical of the prosecution.
Well, I guess having lived and breathed it for 4 years, I think there are a number of questions they need to address themselves. And certainly in terms of the way they go about investigations. And my understanding is they're supposed to be an investigating body. Our experience hasn't really proven that. There's been very little investigation. There was a jump to a conclusion right at the outset of this. And no matter how things unfolded, and that's apparent from the judgment that's been handed down.
The 6 were arrested back in 2011. The case came to court 3 years later, but collapsed when the judge ruled no law was broken, even if some might find the defendants' behaviour dishonest or reprehensible. 9 months on, the Serious Fraud Office failed in a second bid to have the case retried, using a little-known legal tool and adding to the expense. And today it was ordered to pay millions in costs for a prosecution the judge said was a quite exceptional case which had no real prospect of success. Eric Evans is another of the defendants. He says they're still committed to putting the sites back to good use.
We are now looking at future development on the site. The one at East Pit, we hope to get a planning permission next month, and that we then look at Margam. We've got some exciting ideas for Margam.
The SFO says it's considering possible avenues of appeal on the issue of costs. The ruling is a major dent both in its budget and reputation. Those involved say they intend to restore these 4 sites to ones that can be used by the public. The question is whether the plans they come up with will satisfy the councils, politicians and local people in the surrounding areas.